position in the division of corrections. Um, Again, where can you get this book? Order it on Author's e-commerce website. It goes for $29.99, and this is the paperback. It goes for $21.99. So order it today. So without wasting too much time, um, it is what to mention that the department is trying everything humanly possible to make these books disappear from the public domain. So I would say this is your opportunity to order these books. I will fight and keep fighting to keep this book and these books to be visible and accessible. So, chapter 2, volume 2, chapter 1. Wonders, they say, shall never end, and so it is with the Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services of United States of America. Indeed, history has its funny ways of repeating itself in this department. What am I saying, or should I ask, what have I not been saying all along about this department? It is that the unfortunate issue I raised in volume 1 of this piece have continued to raise up their ugly heads and to hold sweet in these various critical government institutions, the Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services. Before I begin with the continuation of this story, I would like to give a quick recap of the ending of the first book. I quote, "One thing people say that drives me crazy is, Miss Margaret Rose, you know that you cannot fight the government. In the same way, correctional officers and other members of staffs at the Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services are afraid of headquarters and their leaders because they have been brainwashed to believing that their fate is already sealed away. A true leader does not lead with fear, corruption, or assassination. Leaders lead their subjects with respect, integrity, humility, and love. All these are absent in the leadership of DPSCS. While waiting for the Civil Rights Commission to get back to me, I have questions to ask the DPSCS. Why did the DPSCS pick on me for victimization from 2015 to 2019? Why me? How are targeting, how do you all pick your victims to victimize? Do DPSCS leadership sleep well at night after causing pains to innocent and helpless staffs, framing officers to the extent that some of them end up in jail? Why was my termination letter signed on June 20th, 2019, the same day I was called for Minigate conference and 2 days before I got terminated? Why was I taken off from administrative leave after my first visit to the state doctor, but the order that was given stated after the end of medical evaluation? Why do DPSCS leaders pay doctors and psychologists to falsify the medical report of correctional officers just to get them fired? Why were my pictures placed at every entrance and exit in posts in all the Baltimore downtown jail on June 4th, 2019, while I was still a correctional officer at the time, but later got terminated on June 22nd, 2019. What was the main reason for my illegal termination? Is it because the department feared the light that I shine in the dark? Why are you people after my life? When would you inform those officers that were illegally terminated as a result of false medical report that those reports were made up to get them fired? Also, when would you deem it fit to let the world know that the correctional officers whom are currently serving time inside the prison facilities or to get indicted are innocent of the crimes they were accused of? Why is corruption so rampant in the department? Finally, why is there no cooperation, love, or care for one another in the DPSCS, irrespective of diversity in race, ethnicity, color, nationality, culture, and language? And for heaven's sake, why is it so hard for people to get along with one another? Why is there so much distrust and fighting? So, this was where the story ended in the first book. After publishing the first book, it may shock many of my readers to learn that I survived several attempts on my life. I shall come back to it in details later in this book. Also, all of the above questions that I asked the Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services are still yet to be answered by the department. Meanwhile, an unprecedented event happened inside DPSCS on December 3rd, 2019, less than 2 weeks after the release of my book to the public. On that day, 25 correctional officers were indicted and accused of using excessive force, intimidation, etc. on the inmates. This story will also be covered further down in this book. So, if you want to hear juicy stories about what is going on in the Department of Corrections, other volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, and soon to have volume 4. The juicy is real. Paperwork is real. You need to get on it. Get on it. Get on it. See you all on my next video with the volume 3.